I don't know if I want to like just stick my vote in for everything just yet, because I have to sit on things and think about things. If there's one thing that's a little rough, I think Expedition 33 got nominated for like 11 to 13 awards or something like that, which is a lot. This is like the equivalent of some Titanic shit showing up and you're just like, well, everyone else is like, well, shit. Let's go down and just look. Best esports team, very valuable. I have a lot to say and I think we should discuss this in a very lengthy subject matter. Shit. Best esports athlete. Listen, I wanted Kakeru to get it. I wanted Kakeru to get it. Just based on everything he's been through in his story. Let's give it to Kakeru. How about that? Content creator of the year. I'll just say I only ever watched Charlie. And not a ton. What's the peanut guy? Most anticipated game? For me, it's Wolverine 007. What the hell? Dude, I would put Tokon over this. That's a choice, man. GTA 6 is obviously gonna be the one that wins this, but Wolverine probably a little bit more than Resident Evil because Requiem has not had a chance to do anything really different yet. Everything that we've seen of RE9 so far pretty much just looks exactly to be like a slower paced RE7. If we're not counting what could potentially be there, everything in RE9 right now is a spooky, slow, meandering kind of RE7. Unless the marketing for the game changes and we see more than just the first level, that's the impression I have right now. And it's like, yeah, okay, I'll be excited for that. But right now, I'm more excited to play Wolverine. Best adaptation. I didn't see any of these. This is a weird snub. Sonic 3 not being here is really crazy. Because Sonic 3 was well received, man. Even Simmons watched it on a plane, one of the biggest Sonic snobs on the planet, and even he was like, that was the best Sonic movie. I imagine that Minecraft will take this. Chicken Jockey? Sonic was 2024. Oh, it came out in December. Then it should count. I'm not a big video game adaptation guy. I'm gonna be real. Arc Raiders wins this. It's too big, got too much buzz. I didn't play Battlefield 6, but I would give it to Elden Ring because I genuinely had a great time with Elden Ring. I think between the two in here, the biggest toss between this is this and this. Peak and Arc Raiders is likely gonna take it. Best sports / racing. Rematch got a lot of really positive buzz. People had some really good things to say about Rematch. It's not going to Mario Kart World, dude. That game came out and it vanished. Like Mario Kart 8 came out twice and like recaptured its audience again, you know, like multiple times upon its re-releases and then continual DLC. It's like everyone came back and played Mario Kart 8 like several times over, but Mario Kart World, I mean, I just didn't feel it, man. That game did not have a hook that was powerful enough to really get me want to go back and play more. It was okay. Nothing really wrong with it. It was okay. But a lot of people have really good things to say about Sonic Racing, and I think I like the mechanics in Sonic Racing a little bit more. This is not probably going to be a popular vote, but I think like these two. But dude, I don't know what the hell's going on over here, so. And damn, you know what I'm voting for here? The only reason I could say that this would go to Civ 7 is because it's Civilization. However, Civ 7 pissed people off. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Altars was pretty cool. This was a neat game, and I would not be surprised if this sneaks it in. I watched some people play this. Unfortunately, it came out in a time frame that really had a lot going on, but this was a pretty crazy looking game. Best family game. Dude, Donkey Kong I know is nominated for Game of the Year, so it pretty much goes to Donkey Kong, right? I don't think Split Fiction is nominated for Game of the Year. So almost by the way that everything is organized, this almost like defaults to DK. And DK is a pretty decent family game. I've actually played this with my daughter, so. And to be honest, we just played Lego Party and it's pretty great, but is it like best family game of the year great? I don't know. So, we gotta talk about this. And I am going to keep this brief right now so that I can add like an addendum to this and we can come back to it and discuss the best fighting category. We've made a lot of progress, don't get me wrong. Like we've made a lot of progress from Sifu being nominated for best fighting game, but there is clear room for improvement here. We'll discuss it in a lot more detail going down the line, but I'm going to just throw out a name of a game that deserves this to win right now, and it's Fatal Fury. Best RPG? Okay, so this is between these two, right? Because both of these games are nominated for best game of the year. I think it's gonna go to Expedition 33. It'd be weird if one gets game of the year and the other gets like, you know, best just RPG. I think Expedition 33 is likely gonna take this. I don't know about Monster Hunter, dude. Best action adventure. damn. This might be the toughest category so far. Several games that could either take this, and I don't really know where this goes. This is where the brain immediately goes, and then this is clearly right next to it, and this is right, these two are like right next to each other to possibly take it, but also, yeah, I don't know, man. Jeez, dude, this one's tough. Many of these have like a very good chance of winning this. I think Silksong will likely take this though. Best action game, and there you go. Battlefield 6. Dude, wasn't the campaign to this balls? I'm speaking from a second hand. You know what? Kazan does a lot for me personally. I don't know if I would put it in the same pedigree of like Shinobi, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, or I don't think so, man. Dude, Absolem should be here. No kidding. I feel like Absolem should take the spot of Doom the Dark Ages, because I would not like have nominated Doom the Dark Ages for best action game, my dude. I would not. It was an okay game, but I did not have the greatest time with this, dude. I think this is probably going to be a toss-up between Hades 2 and Shinobi. Ninja Gaiden 4 is actually the straight-up true action game of all of these, but Shinobi had people said such great things about Shinobi, and I haven't played this, but everybody that's played Shinobi is like, this game sucks, man. Like, it's so good. This is one of the ones that I'm really sad that I missed out on because of, you know, timing. NG4 probably has the best core element action of all of these games in terms of combat. The problem is that action games, yes, it's a game focusing on action, but everything else needs to be just as exemplary as well. And there's a lot of shit getting in the way of Ninja Gaiden 4 being like the most god tier action game. And even people that like it a lot will agree with me, dude. The game's amazing. It has some of the best flow state action game stuff in a hell of a long time, but there's so many weird things throughout the playthrough that is like, this is funky. Why is this funky? I think the two games that likely will fight for victory here is Hades 2 and Shinobi, and I don't really have a preference on either one. Best VR AR, damn. I have so much to say about all the games in this category. Best mobile game. Okay, chat, are you ready for a hot take? Best debut indie game. And this one is going through a bit of drama right now because the developer for Megabonk, the one dude dev for Megabonk, chose to pull out, which is interesting. People are in love with Dispatch right now, and Dispatch is effectively the return, the mega return of Telltale. And Blueprints did insane early. Everybody was playing this game, dude. People really loved this, dude. And I have not heard much about this one, so I'm sort of out there. I feel like in the tilting scale here, this just sets up for an easy Expedition 33 sweep. It might not sweep everything, but the chance of it winning like 10 awards is mad high, dude. Expedition 33 isn't even an indie game like Kepler. Isn't a small publisher, but it's a publisher. Yeah, they actually had a publisher, you know? Let's not discredit how small Kepler is as a publisher. They're pretty small, dude. But still, they had a publisher, you know? And there is definitely like budget behind this, way more than some of the other ones. You know, this is a weird category. What is heavily considered to be like an indie game, an independent studio, Baldur's Gate 3, a big ass game, is technically an indie game, you know? We're starting to get this cleared up a little bit when Dave the Diver was like published by one of the biggest friggin' companies in the world type of shit. And it's like, that's not an indie game, my dude. Dave the Diver was not an indie game. We got to finagle this category a little bit in the future. All right. That being said, I think Expedition 33 is going to take it, but based on the way everyone's reacting and talking about Dispatch, man, it feels like Dispatch would be a very good call. Okay. Interesting. Best independent game. This is crazy, dude. All of these, I mean, the only game up here that I can defend, but I don't think found an audience as big because of what it is Absolem. But Absolem being a beat 'em up, you know, and a roguelite beat 'em up at that makes it sort of weird. That being said, god damn this game, dude. But this lineup is nuts. I remember I was saying like one of the action adventure categories is one of the hardest ones to pit. Ball X pit. This one might be the actual toughest. Like all of these games could be considered like games of the year material by many accounts. Here's the problem. Expedition 33 is here. And that's what makes this a little less interesting, you know? The tough part about these situations is that that's what makes this like less interesting, is that this could and probably should go to a different one instead of the E33 sweep, even though I'm standing E33 as well. It's just, there's 2 Game of the Year nominees in here. 3, sorry, there's 3. This one, and this one. So it makes the chance of this one, or this one almost 0. I think Expedition 33 probably takes this one. No Man's Sky got a big update this year. Helldivers 2 has gone through some stuff. 14's in an okay spot. Baldur's Gate 3 is continually getting updated. However, dude, Fortnite is fucking crazy this year. I have never felt more left out and choosing my virginity, my Fortnite virginity, to eventually have my moment. And I feel like this year I'm getting some mad FOMO, dude. This is the only year where Fortnite FOMO has kicked in. The Simpsons area, the Daft Punk stuff, I'm forgetting things that happened earlier this year. I'm like, dude, this shit is crazy. That being said, I wouldn't be surprised if Fortnite takes it. It seems like this is getting more buzz and all this kind of stuff throughout literally everything. These are two also very interesting categories. 14, Fortnite, Helldivers, Marvel Rivals, No Man's Sky. Now that I understand in the amount of time that it has existed to how much it has changed and how much they have added, this probably is gonna go to Marvel Rivals. They have done a ridiculous amount to this game in a very short period of time, dude. I don't know. These are all things that I am relatively unfamiliar, but my little bit of perspective on Marvel Rivals sort of like kind of reflects the way I think a lot of the community feels, and they're kind of pretty happy with it, you know? A lot of shit's changing, a lot of stuff is happening almost constantly. Games for Impact, I do not know. So much stuff came out this year, dude. I do not know. I almost don't have much of a take on this one because I didn't get to play much. Innovation and accessibility? Doom did have a ton of accessibility, but my lack of experience will definitely be my downfall in predicting what will actually win. South of Midnight could possibly be up there too. Yeah, I don't know. Doom the Dark Ages definitely had a lot of accessibility stuff that made that was like, this is a lot. This is a lot of effort, my dude. Oh man. So yeah, brother. Expedition 33 occupying literally 50% of the performance vote. Boy, howdy. She did amazing, dude. And I played the game in Japanese as well. I didn't even get to hear like Yuffie's voice actress and her performance very much, but man, she did a great job too. And Troy Baker, I heard, killed it as Indy. All of these are nuts. They're all so good. I'm giving it to Ben. I think like the hero of this is sort of like Charlie, but I'll be real, dude. Like the range of what this dude's character goes through in Expedition 33. Who did Jennifer English play? Was she Mael? Damn, bro. To be completely honest, that's a close second. Like, likely tied. That's really tough. This one's very hard. I'll probably give it to Ben because I think his acting range was genuinely tested. Best audio design. This is tough because I didn't play enough of Death Stranding 2 or Battlefield 6. Yeah, Arc Raiders likely would have been here if it wasn't for I learned later that some of their audio was AI generated. Which, you know why that sucks, chat? You know why this AI bullshit sucks? Because it undermines the actual efforts of real people and real art. Whatever the audio engineer that did the incredible work on Arc Raiders game sounds incredible, just mind-blowing sound. But there was a choice made at some point to save money and do voiceovers that are fake-ass people. So the issue with that is that it's effectively undermining the audio design and work that goes into it all across the board, which is most likely not any of that, has nothing to do with that shit. And I think that sucks. I think that genuinely is stupid. Another reason that I absolutely hate this generative AI that is removing the performance from things, you know? So yeah, do I think that best audio design probably would have had a good chance of Arc Raiders being up here? 100%, dude. But the issue is that at some executive level, some dumbass thought we can save a little bit of money here, and it has rendered somebody's incredibly valuable work probably at a point where it's under scrutiny. Isn't that really shitty? Anyway, I'd probably give this a Silent Hill F. This game sounded gross, like really gross. And it really like had a haunting feel throughout all of it. Like, and it also helps that it's an Atmo game. It's a spooky Atmo game. So I really liked it. I like Ghost of Yotei as well, but it was like, okay, what is going to take it? I think Death Stranding 2 could possibly take it. I think it could take it, like no kidding. Best score in music. Jesus, man. This year sucks. We're gonna be talking about this year for years to come, chat. You realize that? We're gonna be talking about what happened in 2025 in this video game industry for years to come. All I can say is that Expedition 33's music repeatedly blew my mind. Repeatedly. Like it was a Final Fantasy VII Remake or Rebirth audio experience where it's just like, this game loves its music. Like, it absolutely adores this shit. The music is part of the experience so much. It's built into the gameplay for the most part. Like, and while I don't have the most experience across the board with everything else, yeah, I wasn't like blown away by Yotei's score and music, but it was definitely good. It definitely sets the mood and the vibe. I think this is likely between No kidding, this one and this one. I think it'll go between these two, but I still think overall this is an Expedition 33 awards. This is probably gonna go here. I tried to warn you. As soon as we beat Expedition 33, I'm like, this game's winning game of the year. And then it's like, there's so many more games to come out. There's like Death Stranding 2, there's this, there's that, there's that. I'm like, yeah, but Expedition 33 is everything this industry loves. And then Silksong had not even been out yet. And like, there was that, I think Silksong was the one chance of there being an absolute interrupter. That doesn't mean that I've been right all the time. We have been wrong. There was no chance in hell that a sequel to Breath of the Wild was going to not win game of the year, and it didn't. So that was pretty unexpected, my dude. Best art direction. I would probably say Ghost of Yote has a very good chance of taking this, but I have a big gripe with Yote, my dude. And it's that the majority of the experience that I had, and I had to talk to somebody else that had played the entire thing, and apparently that does echo throughout the rest of the game. A lot of that game takes place in Seattle. And for those of you that don't know what I mean, there's very few moments throughout a Yote playthrough, apparently, that are like in the daytime where it looks the most pretty and stuff. It's so drab and rainy. And your ability to manipulate the environment and get clear weather is not as present. That changes my personal feelings on it just taking it, because I think like it just takes it. But Death Stranding 2, though. I don't know if I like Expedition 33 being up here. I think E33 is a great looking game, but I think that some other games this year can kind of look a bit better. I think it does great for what it has and what it had access to. I love parts of it, don't get me wrong, but I think some other, kind of like the look of some other games, you know? If there's one category that I think, and I hope Expedition 33 maybe doesn't take, I think Death Stranding 2 could possibly take. I do. I think Death Stranding 2 could possibly take this one, and I would not be surprised if it does. Shit. Silent Hill F was very good, and when you learn more about the game, it's even better after the first one. I don't know if I love Ghost of Yote's narrative because it ends up going into a more fantastical element, and it sort of deviates a lot from what made Tsushima really fascinating to me, which felt like you're sort of like reliving these war chronicles, you know, like you're reliving history. And then Ghost of Yote goes a little bit more into Western fantastical, which I don't think is bad. It didn't grab me as much. Expedition 33's narrative is gripping as shit. The way its story is like paced and conducted is literally designed to keep you intrigued, to get you from here to here to here to here and get you really like, oh, I want to move forward, dude. What the hell's going on? The way they like slow drip the information of the world. I do have a little bit of disappointment of its conclusion, but at the same point, you know, I really wonder about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I think we're out here looking at all these other big heavy hitters and then not really crediting that this could possibly just come in and sweep this up or something. I'm gonna call it right now. I would not be surprised if this one comes in and sweeps this up in some way. Even with lacking critical information, I would not be surprised. Just to like even out this whole E33 sweep, you know what I mean? And best direction, I think this absolutely goes to E33, for sure. With the resources they had, what they could do, what they chose to do, with the time they had, with the size staff they have, that's all direction and shit, man. What made it into the game, what was valuable for the game. I could see Kojima also coming in and scooping this guy up, but to have that coordinated of a vision for what Expedition 33 could be as a game is nuts. Like I said, very high probability. I think this will likely go here. And then, yeah, it will just... It's almost funny that DK comes in here. This is a hot take, man. I was really looking forward to DK being like, it's the game of the year. And then I really didn't feel that by the end. Maybe in the first third of the game, maybe in the last 10% of it, it was really powerful. But there's some parts in there that are like, this is okay. I feel like this had an opportunity to really grab me through like narrative and music and all this kind of stuff and level design and everything. And there's some part of the middle of Donkey Kong Bonanza where I was just like, I could pretty much stop here. I think it's pretty clear that E33 is going to win this year. Seems pretty clear. That's crazy because so many games, dude. Like so many ridiculous games came out. I think what happens this year is that if 33 doesn't win Game of the Year, it is surprising. It will actually be like, whoa, you know? If suddenly Silksong takes it, or Death Stranding 2, or shit, Kingdom Come, Hades 2, it would be shocking. If Donkey Kong not having that many nominations suddenly just wins, that would be shocking. Like, what the hell? Just because the presence of all these other titles is so prevalent throughout all of this shit, you know? So many games deserve it. And what makes me very happy is that, what is this? Half of the games on this list are from small dev teams. I don't know about Kingdom Come, maybe it is, but Small dev team, small dev team, small dev team. Really small dev team. This is a thing that makes me feel like this industry is heading in the right direction, is that these games that typically cost a lot less than games like this, you know what I mean? There are reasons why all of these games are great and why everything up here like deserves a spot. If anything, it feels like Expedition 33 this year is almost taking too many spots because it almost feels like other games deserve to have gotten more noms or comeuppance or that kind of stuff, you know? The winners of this year are us, the users, because 2025 was crazy. The losers of this year are us, the users, because 2025 was crazy and there was too many goddamn video games and there was almost no way that you played all of them.